Om. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutav Vande Bhagavantah Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyaadilakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Sadgurum Tam Namami Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Punaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om and Namaskar to everyone. This has been an eventful time for all of us. And at such times, I have noticed in life, it is always the knowledge of Vedanta that helps us. Now, sit comfortably. Renkama with Sudhamma is there. Sudhamma, sit comfortably. Otherwise, you're looking uncomfortable. Please sit comfortably. If you bend so much, you will have problems. Sit comfortably, everyone. Wonderful. Be all of you, be at ease. Don't strain your necks, don't strain anything. So you all listen nice. Doctors want to see everyone. Okay, wonderful. Now, first of all, is it anyone's birthday today? If it is your birthday, please raise your hand. Anyone's birthday? No. Anyone's wedding anniversary? No. Are you born? You have to nod your head yes or no. Okay, fine. Because that's the only way I can communicate. If everyone switches on their this, it's going to be difficult. So, are you born? Can you do this vigorously or this vigorously? So we have established again and again that as the body alone am I born, in the body I have an age. But even as the jiva, I am not born. As the jiva, I have been taking on bodies life after life continuously. So I cannot even say this is my birthday or that is my birthday. In this body, yes, this is my birthday, but that's about it. So the jiva is unborn and undying. Till, of course, we realize the truth. So it's the first and foremost thing that we have asked, remember in our sequence of things, we have to remember that even if we don't think of ourselves as Brahma, that's fine right now. We don't have to think of ourselves as Brahma because it's a big step. Even if we can think of ourselves as a jiva, That is one very, 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 very big step. Now, having understood this, now the question, of course, is the Brahma Jnanam that is happening. So here it is said, when you go to the next level, if you remember, we had talked about discrimination. Not discrimination was a very terrible word. We had talked about Viveka Shakti, the ability to separate. So we said Shreya Preya Viveka, Aunsha Aunshi Viveka, Sadhana Sadhya Viveka. Remember all those? Shreya Preya, the distinction between the good and the pleasant. Aunsha Aunshi, the distinction between the part and the whole. Dharma Adharma, the distinction between good and not good. Then we had talked about wrong and right, righteous, unrighteous, such things. And we also talked about which other type of viveka? Then sadhana sadhya vivek, the distinction between the means and the goal. This is what we had talked about quite elaborately. We had discussed this. And I had said that these are the vivek that makes us humane. Right? Remember this thing? That makes us human beings as humane. But there is a higher order of thinking. Do you remember that? I had just mentioned, and I said, we can do it later. We will be doing it a little later. Yeah? And that type of a vivek is what is being brought into the picture over here. Now, are you all ready mentally? Yes? To do this higher order vivek? Everyone? If so, wonderful. Now, what is this higher order of viveka? This ability to distinguish. What is that? So it is said over here that Ishana Bhuta Bhavyasya Tato Na Vijugupsate. We are on mantra number 15. Yat etad pashyati atmanam deva manjasa. One who realizes the self, Ishana becomes the Lord of what? Bhuta Bhavyasya, of the past and the future. Bhuta Bhavyasya Ishana. He becomes a controller of the Lord of Bhuta and Bhavya. Bhuta past, Bhavya future. Now, would you not love that? To be the what? A master of your future and the past. Now remember, here it is not said your future, your past. It is said past and future. Okay? It is not said your future, your past. Because when we say your future, your past, we are referring either to our body or to that Jivatma who keeps going what? Birth after birth. We are not talking about that one. We are not talking about your future, your past. We are talking of what? Past and future as time. So he becomes the master of time. I hope you understand the distinction between the two. He becomes not just the master of everyone is becoming a little restless. Can you all sit down happily and just be there? Yeah. What? He becomes the master of what? What? Time. Not of my past. I want to control my. You can't. Can you control your past? Past is over and done with. Is there any question of controlling your past? There's no question. It's a ridiculous thought also. You can't control your past because it's all over and done with. You couldn't have done anything else now. It's over, done, no control. Do you have any control over your future also? Did anyone have control over what will happen today? I mean, in this circumstance right now. Did we have control? No. We didn't have any control over it. We tried our best and that's about it. And then whatever had to happen, did happen. So, are we able to control the past? Definitely not. Are we able to control our future? Whatever is going to come is going to come. Full stop. So where is this control? Ishana Bhuta Bhavyasya. What do you mean by that? The controller of time. Not my past, my future, my time, but of time. Ishana Bhuta Bhavyasya Tato Na Vijugupsate. When the person is like that, Na Vijugupsate, he will not get in any way flustered or he will not have any revulsion on anyone, or he will not be concealed by anything. He will remain protected by all, etc., etc. Different meanings are there. Now, we are going to do a little, but we said high order thinking. Okay. High order, from the one that we say as human beings, we are all in a sense only that divine truth. So that order thinking will lead us to this knowledge. We will do a little bit of that. Now, see, the past and the future. Okay. If you consider time as a line, then let us say from the past it comes and into the future it goes. Okay. If you have understood, keep nodding, because that's only this. So from the past it comes and into the future it goes, right? So to speak, if you consider it as a line. Now, this moment is what? Is the present, naturally. Now, by the time I said this moment became what? What? It became the past, right? The next moment that I had not even thought of became what? The present. And even as I'm saying it, it is becoming what? The past, and the other one is coming. Now, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you this question. Does time go from the past to the future, or from the future to the past? Does it go from the past is becoming the future, or the future is becoming the past? It's very interesting. The past cannot become the future, but the past was the future, right? The past was the future, and the only point which is a meeting point of the past and future is the present, which itself is a very flimsy moment, which is so flimsy that by the time you realize it is the present, it has already become what? The past. It is that flimsy a moment which, if we are not even careful about it, by the time we've realized it, it has already become what? The past. Right? Now, without the present, can there be any talk of the past or the future? It cannot even exist. Only with reference to the present, we call something as what? Past, and something as what? Future. So one who remains in the present, even though it seems to be so flimsy, in this moment of absolute present, then he becomes the master of time. Okay? He becomes the master. Why? Because he is there. He's the controller of what? For him, time is something which is happening as a what? Passing thing. It's going from the future into the past. It's going, and I am the master. I am the witness. I am aware. So that's why there is a book called The Power of Now, if you remember, if some of you may have heard of it also. So the absolute present, the one who can remain in that awareness. So that is why Guruji also very beautifully puts it, in the present, instead of calling it present, you have to call it as presence. Okay. Awareness, the presence. So one who remains in the present. Now comes some more interesting thing. See, whatever happened in the past, whatever happened in the future, whatever happened, the presence was always there. Do you agree with me? The presence was there. Even when the past incident happened, the future incident has happened, the presence is always there. It never goes away. Something is happening, something is going. Something is happening, something is going. Right? And another very interesting thing, were it not for a thought, there would be no concept of past or present. Something more thinking we're doing. What is there? So therefore, time is only in the mind as a thought. It is a concept of the mind. Are you with me? Were it not for a thought, there would be no awareness. That is why in the deep sleep state, there is no concept of time, because there's no awareness of thoughts, and therefore you don't know exactly how much time you had your deep sleep state. You just could not have any time concept. Why? No thoughts. So what is time? It's a concept of the mind. It is in the mind, and one who is a witness of that is beyond the mind, who's beyond, who's the master of past and present and future. Is it okay, everyone? You're getting this point? So what is the vivek that you have to do? What is this distinction? That I am, see, now what is time? Now this is another thing, just keep it in your mind. See, all these things now, they're difficult to sink in. It's not that it's going to happen in a second, or it's not going to happen in a month also. I don't know when it will happen. I just hope it happens as soon as possible. But what I want you to understand is the essence of anything. Whenever the word time is said, in your mind, the word change should come. Will you remember this in future? What? The minute the word time is said, what should come in your mind? Change. Change is the essence of time. Will you write this sentence, underline it, mark it? What? Change is the essence of time. Change is the very hard, very marma of time. So time is not really anything else. There's no sunrise, sunset and all that. Is only because of that we make all these concepts, this external concept of, morning, evening, afternoon, because of this and all. But the essence of all of that is only change. Do you agree with me? Past, present, going into this. So the essence of time is change. So the viveka that we are doing is that there is something which is changing and something which is a witness of this change. That which is the witness of the change is the Atma. Here it is said Atma. And once I know I am that Atma, the essence of all, I'm time, I'm the one that is the witness of all the changes. Only a changeless thing can know change. Okay, now this is a concept I'll make you again understand. Is it becoming too heavy? You have to say yes or no, then I will. If you don't, how many of you don't understand, then please tell me like that, then I will explain again. Otherwise, do this. Okay. Okay, some are doing this, so I'll explain once more. See, few things we have understood. One is time is in the mind. Okay? Time is in the mind as a thought. That is where time is a concept of the human mind. We call it one objective time, like outside it happens as the sunrise, sunset and all that. But that also is understood and known only as a thought in the mind. Is it okay? Then the time that we say is now or past or future, as this, we know of that time. So there's an I who knows these thoughts of the past, the present and the future. So there is an I who is aware of time. Is it okay? Right. Then we have understood time is nothing but change. Then only there can be something concept called time. If there is no change, then there is no time. Right? So therefore, one is a changing thing, and to know the changing thing, there must be a changeless substratum or a changeless awareness. Now, this is the point that I'm going to explain to you. What? For every change to be known and experienced, there must be something which is changeless. Okay? Now, I'm explaining this point to you, everyone. Now, I started this session. Supposing someone came in, they came. Then after some time, they exited. And they said, no, it's too much for me. Then someone else came in. Then they also said, no, I can't take. And then they went out. The third person came in. Then they said, no, I can't do it. They went out. Now, what will you say? If you ask that person that, okay, please tell me, what was said in the lecture today? So what will they say? They will say only what they heard. And they say, oh, she was saying something and all. And then we went out. Fine. Then someone else came in. But you who were there throughout will know that X came in, X went out. Y came in, Y went out. Z came in, Z went out. You were the common substratum in all the changes that were happening. Is it true or not? So when you are asked, you will say, this is what happened. How do you know? I was there throughout. I saw this. I saw that. I saw them coming. I saw them going. Everything I saw. Are you understanding? So therefore, every change, any change must have what? A changeless substratum. Is it okay, everyone? So this type of thinking is called Nitya Anitya Viveka. The distinction between the permanent and the temporary. The changing and the changeless. Now, this is higher order thinking. Normal thinking is what? We do the thinking between two changing things. I want to eat this, I don't want to eat this. Now, what is that? Both of them are changing. I like this season, I don't like this season. Or this is different. Oh, now winter has set in. Don't we all say that now? You go outside in the morning, you find that little chill in the air, and you'll say, oh, winter has set in. So it was different. Before it was the second monsoon going on. Now it is the winter setting. So you have distinction. Now both of them are changing entities, distinction between two changing entities. Yes. Most of our Vivek is always this thinking is always between two entities of the same level. Both are changing. One may be more lasting than the other. That is why in life also, no, we say, this is true love. How do you call it true love? Normal, this. What is true love? That will last a long time. If it doesn't last, you'll say what? Many times people, who get divorced also say, what? I don't think it was true love in the beginning only. What type of a love was that? It's got, it's got shattered. It's no true. But if it is very temporary, for a little time it is there, it is not that. Anything which is long lasting, we say that is true. Agreed? Anything which gets negated, we say is false. Anything which lasts, is always there, we say what? It is true. Supposing you ask me, what is my name? I'll say Vimalananda. Then next day you ask me, what is my name? I'll say Gadbadananda. Then what will you say? Yesterday she said Vimalananda. Now she's saying what? Gadbadananda. I think the second one is more right than the first. What is this? Gadbad kar diya itna. So, then the third day I'll give some other name. Then what will you say? Arey, what is this? You understand? So what I'm trying to tell you is that which lasts, that which remains a long time, which doesn't change, is what we call true. In life also remember, that which is changeless is considered as true. That which gets negated and keeps changing, we consider as false. Now, this, coronavirus, is it true or false? Swamiji, it is so true right now. It's there, right there. Yes. It came at a point of time. So what will happen? It will go. Right. It will go. What has come will definitely go. What is that? I will remain forever. That which comes and goes is not true, nor is it permanent. Now, interestingly, everything else in our life outside of us, we are very happy to say it's not true, not true, not true. Outside of us. But we really, what we have to do is starting point of saying that which is changing is not true and not real. You have to start with the body and the mind. That is where all the problem comes. Outside of us, everything is not true, not too easy. Right? But then when it comes to body, it is very true for us. And more true than the body is also our mind. Is it true or not? Anything in the mind, any thought in the mind how real it is to us. And the fact is that thought in the mind doesn't remain for more than a fraction of a second. Is it a fact or not? For how long does that thought remain? By the time it's formed, it's gone. Any thought, try to do that. Try to hold on to a thought. It's very interesting. Do this exercise. Anyway, you have a lot of time. So what should you do? Take let the thought come and then try to hold it. But that trying to hold is also a second thought only. It's not the same thought, right? Right. You cannot. The thought is such a flimsy thing. I always called a thought as a dot of thought. What? It's just a dot. And that one little dot, only it gains momentum when it comes with a lot of others. Especially if that thought has any emotion with it, it becomes very powerful. You must have all realized doing your japa and all of that, the force of the thought is when there is an emotion with it. Negative, positive, doesn't matter what that is. That is why always emotions seem to win and not our intellect. We always behave according. I have already talked about this particular point in our sessions. Yeah, emotions seem to rule the life. Emotions seem to rule our thinking and all, rather than our intellect. Intellect has its own power. It has penetrating power, but emotions have a fuel force. Force is with emotions, and sukshmata, subtleness, is there with the intellect. Okay. So what happens when the subtlety mixed with the right emotions, then this mind can become the strongest instrument. We'll be talking about some other mantras also, which come a little later. So what do we have now here? Ishanaha Bhuta Bhavyasya, one who is the controller or the master or the manager of both past and present. Not as my past and my present, but as time, because I am the changeless substratum to all the thoughts, to all the concepts of time, to all the changes that are happening. I am the changeless substratum. And this is understood. That person is what? Ishanaha. Is the master of it. Okay? Now we'll go to the next word, the next mantra. We are on mantra number 16. Okay. Yasmad arvak samvatsaraha ahobhi parivartate tad deva jyotisham jyotihi ayur hopasate mrutam. It's a very beautiful verse. It is said, Yasmat arvak samvatsaraha ahobhi parivartate. Now again, the same time concept is being talked about as the objective time that we see in the world. In the world, how do we consider as time? We consider time as what? Seconds, in minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades, etc., etc., etc. So here, some of this is given. Samvatsaraha means year. Ahaha means day. So when aha is said, night is understood. Day and night, years. And in our scriptures, mostly we never talked in terms of weeks, but we talked in terms of paksha. Paksha means what? 15 days. So therefore, how the calculation of this time used to happen is what? It would be like seconds, and then hours, and then day and night. And then it was not as week, but as what? Paksha means 15 days. So from the new moon to the full moon, from the full moon to the new moon. Like that, we would count that way, 15 days. Then a month, both of them, both pakshas together, month. And then you had 12 months, which would make it into a year, samvatsaraha, like that. So here the calculation of time as it is. So he says, what should we have done? Tad devo jyotisham jyotihi ayuhu ha upasate amrutam. Now comes a very interesting. Says, what should you do? You should upasate. You should do upasana of what? Ayuhu. Ayuhu means lifespan. Very interesting upasana. Whenever someone goes to an elderly person in our country, what is the ashirvada or the blessings that is given? Shatayushi bhava. Have you heard that? Shatayushi bhava means may you live 100 years. Right now, when we tell people anything like that, now they say, no, I don't want to live 100 years. So many people say like that. You don't worry. Whatever you have to live, you will live anyways. It's not in our hands. So Shat Ayushi Bhava means you live for 100. It is said that a human life, if we live a good life, this particular machine is made to live for 100 years. If you live it well. In Satya Yuga and all, they used to live much, much longer. No, it will be hundreds of years. Kali Yuga, our lifespan, there was a time when they used to say, oh, expected lifespan was very small. Because so many of them died in childbirth, and the diseases were so much and all. Now, if you see a lot of people, 80, 90, these are all common, in India and anywhere else also, you find people living 90 and, 95, we really reach good age. So, Ayuhu Upasate. So, we know this Ayu means lifespan. Yeah. So, this life, upasate means you worship that. Now, how do you worship a lifespan? So, time is worshipped. How do you worship time? Is you use your time well. Okay, that besides the point. We have this thing called, we say, understanding that this lifespan that is given to us, there is one very beautiful Shanti mantra. I don't know how many of you have heard this. Bhadran karne bhishnuyama devaha Badram pashe makshabhirya jatraha sthirairangai istushtuva gamsastanubihi vyashema deva hitam yad ayuhu. Whatever is the lifespan ordained for me, may I live it beautifully. Deva hitam, ordained for me, may I live it. Not asking for more, not asking to shorten it. I don't want to live, please, I must go away. No, not that also. Or I want to live more. No, whatever is this, may I live it beautifully. How? May I listen to good things. May I make the best use of this. So may I do it that way. Because this lifespan is a very, very, flimsy thing. There's a beautiful shloka by Shankaracharya, which says what? Ayurnashyati pashyatam pratidinam yatikshayam yauvanam pratyayantikata punarna divasa kalo jagat bhakshakaha. What is happening? Ayuhu nashyati. This ayu gets what? Destroyed as you are living life. What happens? We always celebrate birthdays, but actually on your birthday, you're coming 1 year closer to what? Exiting from this body. The jiva is actually, we say, oh, happy birthday, happy birthday. So we are actually celebrating what? Happy, going 1 year closer to death. No one says like that, So you suppose, oh, this is my 5th birthday. So this is my 5th year of going close to death. We don't know which is that death day. So pashyata, as we see now, what is this 2021, right? You would have said, oh, 2021 just, and then what happened? Now it's what? December already. How many of you have felt such things? Then January comes in, hooray, January, and then before you know, it's February, before you know, it's before. Has it happened like that? Haven't you seen your own children also? They're small and all, and when they get married, say, arre, abhi, kya lagta hai? They were so small and now they become big and now they're getting married and now they have children. Just life just goes. You don't even realize when it's just gone in front of our eyes. You agree with me? Ayurnashyati pashyatam. As we are seeing, life is going. It was morning and now it's already so much time. Ayurnashyati. It just goes, moment, just goes. Yatiksham. And okay, Ayu, let it go, not time, let it pass. But what happens? Yatikshayam yauvanam. That's the big problem. our youth and our vitality and all the other things also what? Seem to what? Go along with it. Yeah. You used to feel, no, first, no, I used to get up and I would, it was a very nice thing. One man, he was 80. So he says, every day when I wake up, I feel like a 30-year-old. He says, sorry, that is amazing. You are 80 years and you feel like a 30-year-old. He says, for 5 minutes. For how long? And then afterwards, what happens? Age, what? Catches up. Ayunash, Yatiksham Yavanam. And in and through all this, the thing that happens, even the worst is Pratyayati Gata Punarna Divasa. Those days which have gone don't come back. All those wonderful memories and wonderful things that we went through, even if we try to recreate it, does it happen? It doesn't happen. Now, all of you will say, oh, we used to sit in the satsang hall and we used to sit and concentration was so good. It was so. Huh? Now, what has happened now? Gone. I'm trying. And what is happening? Still, something is there. You please continue. Don't say, no, it's not happening like before. Nothing happens like before. Is it okay, everyone? Let's accept that as a fact and just do what we can. Okay? Maybe Bhagavan really wanted you to have a taste of what it was, outside this comfort zone that which we all had gone into, So Bhagavan yanked us out of it and said, okay, now go and do your japa. Let's see how it goes. Ayurnashyati pashyatam pratidinam yati kshayam yauvanam pratyayanti gata punarna divasa kalo jagat pakshe. Time it eats everything. See, you buy a property or you buy a car. It's a new car, okay? You haven't even used it much and all. And you just keep it for a little time and then when you try to sell it, what will they say? Sorry, depreciation value, isn't it? Everything has a अरे कुछ नहीं किया रे ऐसे ही रखा नहीं. Now it has depreciated, but I didn't do anything. I didn't even get time to appreciate my car. I didn't do anything with it. Now I'm nothing doing. Now the value has become less. Just everything goes like that. Yati kshayam, everything deteriorates or everything exhausts itself or gets into this. But don't worry, when it goes there, one thing is destroyed, the other thing comes out. For every destruction, there is a creation also. So, nashyati, pashyatam. So, knowing the nature of time, knowing the nature of life is to do ayu upasana. Is that understood? Understanding the nature of time, understanding the nature of our life and our lifespan and the purpose of our life and the purpose of our lifespan is called what? Ayu upasana. Ayu upasana. Ayur nashyati. As I said, we understand. Lakshmi stoya taranga jalanga chapalam. Vidyut, life is like that. It's like a lotus leaf. And the lotus leaf is moving on the water. There is one drop of water on the lotus leaf. How much time is going to take that drop to fall? It could just fall any time. So life is precious. Life is really something we have. And then when you value it, when you use it to the best of your ability, then that is called Ayu Upasana. Is that okay? And then having understood the purpose of the Ayu, having understood the purpose of your life, to go beyond to that which is the witness of all lifespan, and that is the ultimate moksha. That is the realization that we must all have. Okay? So, how does it start? Understanding what is life, understanding what is lifespan, understanding what is the essence of day and night, understanding how we live our life, and then going beyond that to the Atma, which is the witness of all life. That is the purpose of that is called Ayu Upasana. Okay? Pratyayanti Kata Punarna Divasa Ayu Upasate. Having understood that, now I'm just going to read the next verse and then we will see the meaning in more details next time. Tameva manyam atmanam vidvan brahma mruto mrutam. Sorry, that's the second line. Yasmin pancha panchajana akashascha pratisthitah tameva manya atmanam vidwan brahmamrutomrutam. That in which pancha, five, panchajana, the five beings, akashaha, space, pratisthitaha is seated or rests or exists. Tameva manye, we consider that as atmanam is the atma. Vidwan Brahma, one who realizes, the wise man who understands this Brahma, even though as though mortal, Amrutam. He understands as he is actually immortal. He appears to be immortal, but he is actually the immortal. Now, what is the meaning of this? It is a little technical in nature, and therefore I'll have to explain what each of these words mean. Pancha, Panchajana, and Akasha. They don't have a simple meaning, they have some meaning which I will explain in the session tomorrow. Now, today, what are we going to think? All of us will think about a couple of things. Number one, what is time? Whatever we have talked about time, time has changed. You have to realize. If I realize time has changed, that's not. You have to realize time has changed. Then you have to realize time as a thought in the mind. You have to realize that there is something which is beyond that thought and time. You have to realize that a thought is a very, very flimsy thing which just comes and goes, and a changing thing. Thoughts are changing. Can you imagine? All our awareness of our body is only as thoughts. So how changing is, fleeting is that? You have to realize everything in the world that is changing in nature. Just look at everything, anything and everything, and think of the changing aspect of that thing. Can you all do that? Today, look at everything in the world. Relations, friends, things, beings. Just look at anything and everything. And don't just look and start analyzing what is there. Just look at the changing aspect of it. Can you do that part? Whatever you're seeing there, see the changing aspect of it. Don't sit to analyze what happened there and no. Just see this and say, oh God, it changed. It changed. This became like that. Or this became like that. I'll give a very great, I love this example because it's so striking. No, parents and children, when the children are really, really small and tiny, then they are completely dependent on the mother. And they just look up to the mother. That look in the eye of the child when he looks at the mother is so endearing. The life depends on that mother, and the mother just looks at the child looks at the mother, and what a lovely thing. Then when they become 1 or 2 years old, then they go, mummy, everything behind the mummy, mama, mommy. Then the mother has some work or something, and this little baby is just tagging along, mama. And she has to do some work. She says, oh, now leave me alone and go and play. Don't keep coming after me, mummy. Come on, go and play. Then time comes, and then the mother becomes old and very this. And the son has become now an elder person. And then what happens? The son, the mother keeps saying, Beta, my son. And what does the son say? Come on, mommy, you have your own life. You do your own thing. Don't keep after me, mommy. Beta. Now, first, what happened? There was a time when the son used to do mommy. And now the mother is doing what? Beta. Isn't it interesting? That's so interesting. Look at the change. Just look at the one time this was there, I'm giving you a very this scene, but that's what actually happens. Ishanaha Buddha Bhavyasya. This whole thing is a very interesting thing. So please think of everything in life which has changed. Relations, and everything, anything and everything in your life that has changed. Just think of it. Everything. That time is there. Time has an effect on everything. and everything changes. Okay? And I will see you all soon. And we'll have this session every day at 10 o'clock. Okay? 10 to 11 will be the session, and I'll be making you do these exercises, making you all, what do you call it? I don't want to give too much of a dose so that, the mind will not be able to, but think about this time and change and the life and the lifespan that we have got, and how do we use this time and see this time and do upasana of Ayur. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.